Hey Virgos, welcome and welcome back to the Honey Sea Star Tarot. So, this is going to be your weekly read from July 14th through the 20th. Can you believe we're already halfway through July? Oh my goodness. First things first though, I just want to say thank you guys to each and every one of you for all your love, your shares, likes, subscribes, listening. Oh my goodness, like seriously, it fills my bucket up so much to know and to hear that these messages resonate with you and that hopefully that they help. And so thank you guys so much. This channel would not be what it is without each and every one of you guys, or be growing in the way that it is without each and every one of you guys. So thank you guys so much for all your love and support. I love you back. So let's get started here with this week. This week is actually really quite career driven, if you will. And I mean that in the way of like the fire in the belly astrologically. So Spirit, to start things off here, what messages do you have for us Virgos here coming into this week? Thank you. So first things first, here we're pulling the Queen of Swords. So basically what I see here is that you are very much in a mind of rational or rationality, as well as you very much are in you're a rational and honest person is what I'm trying to say. But either way, you are standing in that integrity. You are also being very truthful with yourself and with others. You're open to criticism. You're also standing objectively at this and looking at the situation and being realistic about your options or about your relationships. And especially coming into this this week after this weekend, there's been such a focus with Venus on the 11th, moving into our 12th house with that focus on relationships. You're really kind of sitting there with a very good discernment, a very good head on your shoulders kind of energy, but also a very grounded energy where you're standing in your integrity. And what Spirit is reminding you here at this point is that the battle is half over, but it's not fully over. Now is the time really to persevere. There is success. There is, there is that coming, but it's going to take grit. It's going to take moxie. And it's going to take your tenacity here as well to stick with it. And what I mean is that basically on the 14th, as we're coming into this week, basically the moon's going to be moving into Scorpio. And so if anyone has been dealing with any type of change or dealing with difficulties in relationships or difficult decisions, big life plans, this is a time where really you are at an opportunity astrologically where it's easier to deal with big change. There's a passion and a drive behind you. And so that's where Spirit is saying is keep going. Do not give up, because on the 15th, after all that kind of discomfort, half moon energy from this weekend, Mars, which is in Taurus, is going to be conjunct with Uranus, which is in Taurus as well. So there's so much earth energy there. It's very grounding. But what it's going to really do is set you in that point and focus of stability. So there's going to be an energy to strive for your goals. You will also be more inclined to set the rules for yourself. Play the game of life in your terms, basically. You may even view other people's thoughts or imposed critique or opinions may actually be, you may find that actually more constricting than or restricting than anything else this week. With this conjunction, you very much will, like I say, want to go to the beat of your own drum, but more importantly, set the rules of the game for yourself, especially when you're manifesting your highest life and your best life this week. And then on the 16th, the moon's going to be moving from that passionate energy of Scorpio over into Sagittarius. And so there's a spirited, fiery energy, a need for to educate yourself on the highest things in life. And so there's kind of this like high view point of life goal image. And like I say, this is a time where you'll have that energy to really set those goals, strive for those goals, and that spirited fire from that Sagittarius moon, is going to help you with, anything that you don't know, you're going to be taking on. You're going to be taking on because knowledge is power. And so you're going to have that energy to really drive you towards knowing what you don't know, learn what you don't know, but more importantly, how to get to that point of those highest goals to make practical action and steps along the way to bring that into fruition. Now, with this, basically what I do see here as well is that security is kind of shifted towards greed. You may have some jealousy, you may be encountering some envy, or two, experiencing mistrust or skepticism of your surroundings. You could even have jealousy or envy coming towards you from your surroundings. And so just kind of be aware that that's going on. And then also, too, just kind of be aware that whoever or whatever you've been combating here, the battle is half won. You only lose if you quit, right? But with the Two of Swords here also in reverse, basically this is kind of an indecisive point where it's kind of a turmoil or a stress because there's a lot of fear of uncertainty. There's a lot of indecisiveness or unwillingness or difficulty in making a choice. And so like I say, that Scorpion moon is going to help you with making and dealing with difficult change. The Sagittarian energy is going to really help with kind of lighting that fire, in your belly to really take that practical action of like, hey, where do I really want to go? And so this is the time as you come into this week where there will be a lot of reflection on those goals. And more importantly, the higher things in life that you really strive for. And now is the time that really you'll have that, especially from this weekend, having that opportunity coming in. This will be a pinnacle point where basically you'll be able to really start prioritizing and you'll know where to go. You'll know where home is. You'll know what you want to build as your home, especially with that stability between the conjunction of Mars and Uranus. Now, here as well, with the Five of Swords in reverse, this is basically a peaceful end to conflict. And it's through compromise. And so, especially with all the focus on relationships at this time, now is the time of really understanding, how you come to the table in relationships, how others come to the table for you, and more importantly, working through necessary compromise. And so what I see is through this difficulty, we're halfway through, but basically, Spirit does want to reassure you that there is a peaceful end to this conflict, and it's through compromise. You will be letting any type of stagnancy go, and you'll be moving on. There will be a resolution, but it will also require sacrifice too, and that's where the compromise thing, aspect comes in. Now, on the 17th, the moon, which is in Sag, is also going to be trine with Venus, which is in Leo. And so this is a wonderful opportunity in the way of independent, practical thinking. Knowledge and intelligence is power during this time. Oh, sorry. I was talking about Mercury. Never mind. Sorry, that's also coming up. Let me back up. So with the moon being trine Venus, this is about care for family. Basically trusting in the love that is reliable with the correct relationships for you. But it really is building that tribe, and more importantly, building the stability of that tribe. And like I say, it's about caring for others. It's about knowing and trusting that love absolutely is reliable. If you've been hurt in the past, especially, battling with you've been hurt, you've been on guard, you've been skeptical, by not carrying that type of energy or letting it taint your view on love and still trusting that love is reliable, keeping that heart chakra open and keeping it aligned and ready to receive, this trine is really going to be putting that focus on helping you see what relationships truly are the ones that you want to go forward with in this way. And then as I was saying, I kind of skipped there, but on the 18th, the moon's also going to be trine with Mercury, which is also in Leo. So there's fire, fire, fire all the way around. And this, like I say, it's about independence. It's about practical thinking. It's about critical thinking, but it's also about knowledge as power. And so if you have been deceived in the past, if you've been hurt, not dealing with the right business partners. Wow, these all fell out bad. Oh, okay. I do take reversals, so I just wanted to put that up, but that was surprising. But if you have been hurt in the past, what I see in this is there is something from the past that will be kind of resurfacing. there's arrival of bad news or something bad news on material things. So there will be some unexpected changes. And it will kind of knock you off your focus of your game, which, like I say, it's all about setting your goals. It's all about career for you at this time. It's all about going to the beat of your own drum, setting your own rules. And so at this point, it will be a test where it's going to kind of knock you off your focus. And it will also lead to a bit of self-doubt, and it'll leave you feeling vulnerable. Basically, what I see in that is that this is also kind of a thing of the mind, or a death of the ego. Basically, you're doubting yourself at this point, or it's leading you to doubt this. Whatever this was, this battle is kind of leading you to doubt yourself. And it's hindering your own progress. Basically, you're letting the past influence your future. And it also could be a bit of self-sabotage as well. And so now is the time really where it's important to not self-sabotage in the way of manifesting failure. Because remember, what you think about, you bring about. And so now is the time really to trust your gut. Excuse me. To really trust in what you're doing. But also to look at how you're spreading yourself too thin. How you're possibly taking on too much stress or overburdening your responsibilities. There may be others that can help you. And like I say, this is a time, especially with focus on trusting and love with that trine in Venus. Now is the time to ask for help, or see what maybe you can cut out, or what you're taking on that isn't necessarily yours, that possibly is a projection of emotion or of action or responsibility. And basically with that trine in Mercury, it's really going to bring you into that point of really understanding, is this part of my goal? Or am I doing this and it's kind of diverting my focus, if you will? And so on the 19th, what's really going to help is that the moon's going to be moving into Capricorn. And so it's going to help with bringing out even more ambitious energy, where even the most ambitious goals can come closer based on your hard work and your determination. If anything is going to bring you out of focus, with the moon moving into Capricorn, it's going to pop you right back into your game, which is basically a focus on money. And you will find that harmony. You will find that harmony through prioritization as well. And then also too, time management is what I see. And so a lot of it could be that you're really reassessing, what am I spending my time and my energy on? Is it focused on where I want to go with those bigger life goals? And really reassessing that. And more importantly, like I say, because a lot of this is about a fear of self-doubt, sabotage or self-sabotage in a lot of ways. What's going to be going on is this pinnacle turning point where you're moving on from past regrets, you're healing, you're accepting the things you can't change, more importantly. And with this past situation that's resurfacing, you're resolving it through letting it go with forgiveness. And remember, forgiveness isn't about forgiving the other for them. It's about forgiving others for you. You're not holding that energy. You're taking that power back. And more importantly, it's the power of believing in the self. So don't ever sell yourself short. If you're feeling that way during this week and you feel comfortable, by all means, share your story. Put a heart in the comments below. Let us help support you and lift you up during this time. And remember exactly who you are and exactly the gifts that you have to bring to this world and that are needed in this world. So, as we close out of this week, especially with that moon in Capricorn, it's going to give you that stability. And so, like I say, it's kind of like this week is a really great week of basically looking at where am I headed, and making sure that you're back on that track, that you're back on that boat, basically. Because what I see here is that, what's really leaning or lending itself towards that self-doubt is really that the results lately have been less than expected, basically, or that there's been a fruitlessness or poor foresight, or unfortunately delays. What Spirit wants to remind you is that now is the time for judgment. This is the time for the truth to come forward. You are meant to open that throat chakra. Speak with honesty, speak with forgiveness, but more importantly, speak with resolution. Because karma indeed is on your side. If you've been feeling trapped, if you've been feeling hopeless due to this due to this diversion, if you will, just remember, you are not cornered. You are not powerless. That is fear talking. And with the Wheel of Fortune in reverse, Spirit is really saying, hold tight and have faith, basically, because fortune will change in your favor. And fortune does favor the brave. So remember, don't give up at this point. Good karma is on your side. Positive change is coming. And the wheel absolutely is turning in your favor. Now, as we close out this week, too, on the 20th, Mars is going to be standing in Gemini. And so this is a point where your mind is also sharp. It's keen. It's also eager to learn the things that you don't know. But it's also inventive, intuitive, ingenuitive. And more importantly, it basically is very skilled. You are very skilled at what you're doing. And so take advantage of when Mars stands in Gemini. This not only has to do with the belief of self, but it also has to do with the belief of, what you do, your craft. And like I say, justice is on your side. With justice comes consequence. There could be legal issues as well that you've experienced, but you have truth on your side. There absolutely is fairness involved here as well, and that's what you're fighting for. And that's absolutely what Spirit is saying, is that fairness will come to you. If you have only been receiving, breadcrumbs, if you will, or if you've been dealing with narcissistic abuse and being breadcrumbed, or being manipulated in that way, this is something that's kind of coming up from the past, like I say, and the truth will come out. This is the start of something new, and this new start is yours. You deserve this. Nothing that's ever meant for you will ever pass you by, but where people have basically tried to cause issues, silence you, and throw rocks and hide their hands, if you will, or do injustices. And I do get a lot of career out of this as well, especially with the financial piece. If people have been trying to hinder, your financial success in the past, that energy is kind of carried with you here, where it's almost led to where it's led to a place of self-doubt, of fear, even a point of self-sabotage. And what Spirit is saying is, now is the time. Let that go, because the truth will come out. Nothing that is ever done in the dark doesn't ever come to light. It just depends on when people are able to free their throat chakra or feel strong enough to stand in their truth, take their power back. And what Spirit is saying here is, there is something new in the wing. Basically, there is an opportunity of change. It's through your creative energy, but more importantly, you will inspire others with your truth. And there will be good news for you because of this coming your way. And at the bottom of the deck here as well, like I say, there are new ideas and information, possibly even romance, no pressure. But either way, it's going to bring out a refreshment in you, a revitalization in you. Then, like I say, there's 2 cards back to back here with news. There's a new idea that's going to propel you with this new start. And that clarity is really going to be coming in this week. Because like I say, you're setting the rules for yourself. You're striving and taking that step back and looking at your goals and really reevaluating who you're working with. Knowing that you're walking forward with an open heart and not choosing to let the past basically take away your future. And more importantly, like I say, you are determined. You've got knowledge is power behind your belt this week. And this week will really help with whether you are feeling stagnant and what you don't know. This is the week where you're going to be learning what you do and what you need to know to propel you forward in that way. And with the 2 of Pentacles in reverse, this speaks to basically being led astray. And so, like I say, you've had to make choices. You're going to need to prioritize or possibly re-prioritize. But it's caused you to lose a bit of focus through this being led in the wrong direction or being led into an unbalanced state. And it's also led to financial instability because of it. At the bottom of the deck, though, Spirit really wants to remind you, at this point, you are the 9 of Pentacles. You have material comfort. You have worked hard for your fruit. And more importantly, now is the time to enjoy that and stand in the idea of, in self-discipline, in the idea of, self-discipline, and have the confidence behind the fact that you are an independent critical thinker. You stand alone where many can't. And you stand alone very comfortably in your integrity, in your truth. And there is an inner peace about you. And by holding on to that inner peace, by not letting this rock you off of that, good news absolutely is coming. You are being recognized for your meaningful work. You are inspiring others. The work that you do absolutely does have meaning and does have a need that absolutely should not be neglected. But what I see in this is that you have new teamwork, new collaboration, new communications coming in, but more importantly, monetary rewards. So now is the time where that financial instability wow, that's a lot. I'm not going to take all that. Excuse me. But now is the time where that financial instability comes to an end. And with the Seven of Pentacles, like I say, you've invested a lot of energy. Now is the time to harvest. Now is the time that you will see your return. But also, too, it's time to reflect, like I say, with really looking at those goals, striving for those goals of where you're putting your energy in. It has led to a bit of workaholic aspects. So now is also the time to reflect on that. Reflect on what's really, the bang for the buck in giving you, like filling your bucket, as well as finding the balance of that financial piece as well, and moving forward with those steps. But basically with the Six of Cups in reverse, this is about bad memories. This is about being stuck in the past of a difficult childhood or negative nostalgia. And so, like I say, don't let the past take your future, because what this speaks to is that the negative effects of the past are holding you back. Now is the time to basically take that step back, look at that, where you're putting your energy, look at that potential of self-sabotage, but more importantly, remember, take your power back. Remember, you set the rules for yourself in this game of life. You have goals that are only meant for you. And now is the time where you'll get a boost astrologically to not only stand in your independence, take the ambition to learn the knowledge that you need to get you towards those goals, to get you over that whatever stagnancy is there. And more importantly, you've got the determination and the focus this week and the sharp mind to be able to tackle all hurdles. Now, with the Temperance, basically, Spirit is saying that this is a fusion to harmony. You will be finding an internal balance, and it's through your creativity, through that healing, through art, and like I say, standing in your truth. There is a truth that is coming through, and sharing that truth, sharing your story with the world, the wisdom that you've gained is really where your path to peace is. And with the Eight of Cups in reverse, essentially what that means is it's really a focus on where you've been a wanderer, that you've been stuck in regret, or a weary traveler, basically, where you're looking for something but you don't necessarily know what. But it's a focus of material pleasures, and it's a focus on defending the status quo, basically. And so what I would recommend in that is, like I say, like you go to the beat of your own drum. You're standing in that power this week and knowing that, one, you're not alone. You'll find success through collaboration, but also, two, that you can stand alone very well. You're an independent thinker. You're a critical thinker, and you're not going to let people basically manipulate you from the past. And if that does come up this week, you'll be able to finally conquer that. And that's through that inner peace. And that's through that forgiveness for yourself to take that power back. And more importantly, to move forward away from that. And like I say, oh my goodness, you've got hope. You are the star. Remember, you are inspiring others through your truth and in your truth as you walk your story and share your story with this world. Remember as well, because you're choosing love because you're choosing to not let love be tainted by the past either, or your future love be tainted by the past, by walking in your kindness, by walking in your generosity, excuse me, by taking that time to heal, and also too, standing as a visionary. Now is your time. Now is where you will be renewed. You're focused, you're a dreamer, you've got high ambitions, and it's through your artistic, creative nature. But now is the time really to trust your gut. Your intuition has been telling you where to go, and you're very sensitive at this time. And so now is the time really to connect with spirit in that way and to trust yourself. Like I say, at the bottom of the deck, we've got the Lovers. There is commitment coming for you. There is connection coming in for you through partnerships, relationships, but also too, in that point where you've been feeling indecisive, this is where you'll be finding decision. Because the Lovers really speaks to, the balance of the head and the heart, making those really tough decisions on how to get to those biggest, highest goals in life, highest ambitions. And it just so happens that with Mars standing in Gemini, you will have the ingenuity, the inventive nature to find that path, and you'll be able to see it clearly this week. So if that resonates, like I say, let me know. Share your story in the comments below. That way we can help support you, lift you up, help celebrate your successes with you, because this has not been an easy journey. Certainly you have encountered some difficulties in the past and some very painful relationships in the past. And now is the time to trust that, luckily, that is the past. It's not your future, and it won't be your present. If it is, or if it has been lately, it won't be for long. Now, for those that are feeling any type of chakra blockages, highly recommend music therapy. Music improv is a great way to do that. Sound baths are another great way to do that. Grounding in nature, getting that energetic connection will really help with that inner balance too. But for anybody that practices music therapy, for the major arcana that we've got in this week, we've got G, D, and then A sharp. So try playing around with that to realign some chakras here. I do see a lot to do with the third eye, as well as the crown chakra. And then you also have a bit in the root chakra and in the heart chakra here too. So it's kind of a full realignment of balance here, but that's kind of needed in this way, especially with that self-doubt, to replenish yourself and really step up and stand up in the light and the love that you are, that you bring, and knowing that you absolutely are a gift to this world and are needed in this world. But this is a great synopsis. I mean, look at this. And I think this came in actually this way, so we'll just do it that way anyway. But either way, what I love in this reading here as a synopsis is you've got the Temperance, the Star, and the Lovers. And so there's a fusion to harmony. There's an internal balance through healing. There's hope. There's reinvigoration. There's vision. There's kind-heartedness and renewal again through healing. And there's a renewal of love, of passion, relationships, connections, decisions on the balance of the head and the heart. And so this is absolutely beautiful. This is the week where basically your highest goals will be surmountable. And I do want to prepare you too. So on the 20th, Mars, like I say, it's standing in Gemini. It's also going to be moving into our 10th house as Virgos, which basically is our social status. This is a burst of energy to propel your professional, say that 10 times fast, propel your professional life forward. And so, like I say, this is a time that's really going to be career focused. It's really going to be relationship focused with your networking pieces. But more importantly, it's going to give you that energy with your social status to raise you up in your connections, to raise you up in your networking, and more importantly, propel you forward in your professional life. And so if you had been feeling stagnant, if you had been feeling deceived, held back, experienced financial losses due to deceit and misrepresentations, due to legal issues even, backstabbing, things in the workplace, loss of a job, coworkers that have sabotaged you, even HR departments that have sabotaged you and then brushed it under the rug, for instance. If you've had money taken from you, even in the way what I'm getting is, say, like having your 401k taken from you. Believe it or not, I have seen that happen, where an HR department will make errors, not correct them, and more importantly, destroy the evidence. If you have encountered that, with this Mars position standing on the 20th in Gemini, you have the education and the energy to learn, but more importantly, this is going to be changing your social status in a new commitment, in a new area of community that will absolutely, in a new area of career that will propel your professional life forward. And it's through this new idea as well. Now, I do want to also just prepare you, it's a little beyond this week, but on the 21st, we also have a full moon in Capricorn. And so this is going to be illuminating your 5th house, which is the house of pleasure. So we'll get into that in another reading. Stay tuned. Keep an eye out for that. But either way, date night may be in the future for you guys too. Now, I did pull some animal spirit totems here, see what kind of guidance they can give us. And we pulled the coyote, which is basically, again, it's so true, or so telling with this story, but it's the revealer of truth. Don't take things too seriously. Make time to play. Great wisdom comes from laughing at your own folly. Look out for the traps and tricks of life and learn from them. And so, like I say, especially if something raises its head from the past, this is a point where you really get the opportunity to stand your ground and basically help people understand through healthy boundaries that you will not be manipulated again or taken advantage of again or be stolen from again or be hurt again, more importantly. And like I say, it's through that forgiveness, but that doesn't mean that you're opening the door to the past. You're more importantly opening the window to your future. And with the lion, again, this is so telling. You have a higher calling. This is your future. You have within you all the courage you need. Let go of the past and reclaim your majesty. You will find success and contentment with those by your side. Make noble choices for your life and your tribe. And so, like I say, where a past community may have failed you, you will be finding your new community this week. And really with that focus on keeping your relationships, sacred, with Venus on the 11th still being in our 12th house, this really is a true higher calling, but you have so much to give. And there are people here to support you. And then we've also pulled the swan. Basically, so the swan is grace. And so you who glides across the waters of my soul, bring me your wisdom and light. Help me transform into elegance and grace. Inspire me with dignity and the spirit of beauty. And so, like I say, you're focusing on the beauty of your future. You are not letting the past hold you back. And so this is absolutely beautiful. If this resonates, by all means, please share your story in the comments below. That way we can help lift you up, help support you, because this has not been an easy journey. And more importantly, if there's any way that we can help with letting you know just how much you mean and how much your skills are needed, by all means, this is the channel that we can do that with you on. So, also too, if this resonated and you feel so inclined, please help support the channel. Please like, share, subscribe. It only helps with YouTube and the algorithm, basically getting this message out to as many Virgos as we can. That way we can help all support each other and lift each other up. But either way, I hope this helps. Thank you guys so much again for all your love and support. I love you back, and I'll see you in the next reading.